Hi and welcome. It's Peg, and today is day 8 of Art Journal Habit 2019 Daily Prompts. This is from Art Joy of Sharing, and today's prompt is doubt. So I'm showing how I go about picking some of the things that I'm going to use for a journal page. We look things up in the dictionary for a word, or we look up quotes, or we find imagery, whether it's on Unsplash or Pinterest or, any number of places that you can get inspired from. Sometimes I just look at pages in catalogs and things for inspiration for color. So today I'm looking at quotes and I'm saying, oh yeah, okay, so I'm going to jot this down because um, I'm looking at how we doubt ourselves and how we feel like a failure sometimes because we end up comparing ourselves to one another, and we should not do that. We need to trust in the process. We need to be um, present in our own work and just create. And that's what this whole daily process thing is about. So I want you to not be worried about what everybody else is doing, but to get vested in this whole process. So while the show was finishing up, we do a live show each Thursday, Chelsea and I had finished my page for day 7, and so I was starting on day 8 here. I was just grabbing some Inktense blocks. These are kind of like watercolor in a block form, only they're ink, and so when they dry down, they're permanent. Wonderful product. The other thing I like about it is they do stay intense. They are not something that loses its color as it dries. Many times when you work with watercolor, you have to go back over some things because when the pigment dries down, it's not as vibrant as when you first put it on the page. You don't find that so much with the Inktense. They are an intense color ink and they stay vibrant. So I'm just getting some of that down into my background, and I'm going to do layers of things on here. I haven't really, I've got a quote, but I haven't really decided where the whole art part of this is going. I'm just creating a background while I'm chatting with my friends in the box and waiting for Shell to finish her daily page on the live show. Our live show is an hour and a half show, and each week we do that. So if you want to watch a live and come into the chat room and share with the other people in the box that are chatting with us, then that's when we're doing that. Also, join our Facebook groups if you enjoy doing challenges. We have Pick a Stick Challenge, which is a monthly challenge, and we also have Art Joy Sharing, where we have all different kinds of challenges throughout the year. Um, and we create folders for things like this one so that, if you're just looking for imagery from the daily prompt or whatever, you can find them easily just by going in and looking for that particular folder where people have dropped their photos in. Also, we use hashtags, and the hashtags are an easy way to search for things on the World Wide Web. Um, all of those social media places you can find hashtag information. So our hashtag for this is hashtag Art Journal Habit 2019. This is day 8, and the prompt is doubt. So these are very much like watercolor. You see that they're transparent, and I can layer the colors right over the top of each other and continue creating my background. Now this video is sped up about 8 times fast, so this whole process probably took me, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours to complete, and I'm just showing those travel things that I have where I have my Inktense pencils and my graphite and my watercolor brushes, because this is a real good product to take with you along with your journal if you're going to, be on the go. suppose you need something to take to work with you to do over the lunch hour, this is a great one to grab. Um, and this is a great little journal. This is a Dina Wakley journal. It's a 6x6, and it's got these lovely cotton feel pages in it. I'm just really enjoying the paper. So I'm going to continue to layer up my Inktense into the background. Having fun, talking, creating, you know. And then I start thinking about, okay, now where am I going to take this? Well, in the meanwhile, this morning, I was watching Mary Beth Shaw. She is the owner, creative director, whatever you want to call her, of Stencil Girl products. And you know, Chelsea and I love Stencil Girl products. Well, she was doing some doodling with a stencil this morning. I thought, okay, why not? Um, so I'm getting out a stencil. This is one of the Stencil Club stencils. And yes, there is a stencil club that you can join, and you can purchase monthly Stencil Club stencils, and that's the only way you can get those particular stencils. But let me tell you, there's plenty of other stencils out there too. And I think in the month of November, typically Mary Beth has a sale going on. I think it's like Cyber Monday right after the holidays. So, you know, if you're shopping around, keep an eye out for that. We'll see if she does that this year, but I know she's done it for several years in a row, so I'm hoping that that's available. Anyway, I have traced around that stencil, and now I'm thinking about what do I want to do, and I'm going to, within those areas that are open, I'm going to do a little bit of doodling, and what I'm going to do is put my quote into those areas. So you can see I'm writing the word we, and then I use my pen to create those blocky letters. And trace around the imagery of the stencil. And I'm using my Posca pens to fill in. Now, I have several different pens out there because they all have different nibs. And sometimes you want a fat nib, sometimes you want a skinny nib. So I'm writing, we learn from. Continuing to copy around the imagery, the stencil marks. And you could go in, you know, with a finer line and just doodle each one of those, or, you know, there's lots of ways that you could do this type of page. So now I have those down, and it says, we learn from failure. And I certainly learn from failure, I can tell you that. I make plenty of mistakes, and along the way, we learn things by the mistakes that we make. So, there is no doubt in my mind that we learn from mistakes. So now I want to isolate those areas of the page that have the doodling in them. So I'm just taking some white gesso and filling in around the blocks that have been drawn with the stenciling line. And I notice in the final shot, I still have some more work to do on this page, but you know, it was getting late. I had other things to do, so I will come back to this at another time. It's good enough for my daily because this is an art journal. It's not a work of art that I'm going to put on the wall. It is mainly to prompt me and get me working in my journal and doing something. So, no doubt, no doubt we will come back to this later. And so I'm placing the stencil back over there. I'm grabbing my pen because, of course, I got sloppy with the gesso, and yeah, you're allowed to do that. And I'm coming back and outlining my piece once again. And that's basically it for the process for Doubt, which is day 8 of Art Journal Habit 2019. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you're enjoying us. And we shall see you again soon. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Remember to click the bell for notifications so that you know when a new video is out. And I appreciate you. Bye for now.